Street accessibility is important, as shown in this picture of an inaccessible curb, where a wheelchair user is stopped on the sidewalk without a ramp to transfer to the street. Our focus here will be on answering the questions, what is a curb cut and how did they come about? First, a curb cut is a short ramp built into the curb that allows street users to transition from one sidewalk to another. As shown in this labeled picture of an ADA-compliant curb cut, its main components are the ramp, the transitions between the street and the ramp, and the flared sides between the ramp and the normal height of the sidewalk. There is also a rectangular strip of bright yellow plastic with truncated domes or large circular bumps for blind or visually impaired users. Curb cuts are subject to standardized specifications under the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. The Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, was a monumental win for disability rights, as shown in this picture of President George H.W. Bush sitting beside two advocates who are also wheelchair users as he signed the ADA into law on the south lawn of the White House. Now, how did these curb cuts come about? Curb cuts emerged out of the disability rights movement in Berkeley, where the emphasis was on community-driven design that removed barriers for the disabled to have independence in their own lives and choices. Students at UC Berkeley were essential to the emergence of this movement, as shown by this picture of disability rights advocate Ed Roberts harnessed into his reclining wheelchair with a protester holding a civil rights for the disabled sign behind him. The movement there, driven by the dedication of the activist group, the Rolling Quads, and the UC Berkeley Physically Disabled Students Program, or PDSP, led Berkeley to create the first 4 curb ramps in the 1970s. The disability rights movement was able to gain support through its connection to the broader civil rights movement at the time. The PDSP also helped develop other organizations, as seen in this picture of the fall 1974 cover of The Independent, which displays a group of wheelchair users traversing over an inaccessible curb with the help of assistants. By October of that year, Berkeley renovated Telegraph Avenue with wider sidewalks and 16 curb ramps. PDSP would later help launch the Center for Independent Living, or CIL, who, with the help of Hale Zukas, brought about the installation of 125 new curb ramps along a wheelchair route map created by PDSP. As seen in this picture of 2 protesters holding a sign that says Center for Independent Living Berkeley with a logo of a fist rising out of a wheelchair, CIL was active in keeping the disability rights movement going. CIL would later go on to influence the disability movement nationwide.